Yes, we are back. Back again in Train Sim World 5, back again on Birmingham Cross City, back again in Bromsgrove. This time, though, not to focus too much on the route, this time to focus on this. The Class 170, releasing tomorrow as I stream this, for the Birmingham Cross City route, available in West Midlands Railway livery as I have it here, also in cross-country livery that we will doing. The drivability of the route only extends as far as Bromsgrove, so that is where I am, and we'll take a trip into Birmingham New Street and let these passengers on because I'm currently running late. If you're watching this on YouTube, hi, hello. This is going out on a Saturday, I think. There'll be links in the doobly-doo below to where you can get the route of Train Sim World. There currently isn't a link as I stream this. A link down there to a Twitch page where you can watch me live on Twitchy, and a link down there to the Discord server as well. You did, Richard. I still have that on my phone. Good evening then to Trent, to Shorty, to Nigel, to Anthward, McBone, and to Richard. Let's sit down. Since I recorded some content in this the other day, my farm sim panel controls are not working anymore. So I've got to do it the old-fashioned way. So unlock left door. Hang on, I've got to put my key in first. Hang on. There we go. Open the windows, we'll unlock the doors. Hi Colin. Headlights we'll have today. Reverser into forward, it already is. Got to change controls manually. Oh no, here we go. Hang on, that's a thumbnail. Oh, maybe. 170 and the 323. Right, lock doors. So yes, so going to University and New Street, so only 2 stops. I said in reality these trains don't or didn't stop at Bromsgrove. That's been added in by Dovetail, otherwise you'd only be driving it between University and Birmingham. But let's get going. I had a very nice stroll along the prom. No brass bands playing. You got a taxi home from work. You're obviously paid far too much money, Connor. Right, let's get this thing up the Licky Incline then. So the one good thing this does add, it adds more layers into Birmingham Cross City. So you get the 170s, you get 390s running. I haven't seen one yet. There's also allegedly some Transport for Wales 150s, which you may see coming in and out of New Street. So New Street, on the few times I've been in and out of it so far, does feel busier. So yes, do like the 170, or anything diesel really. I'm flat out up the Licky Incline doing 36 miles an hour. Hi Chef Lad. So hi Amy Lou. So normally I suppose these things would have got a bit of a run up because they wouldn't have stopped at Bromsgrove. And hi Underdale. So starting out from a stop and trying to get this thing up Licky Incline. So yeah, so 2 liveries and 2 versions, 5-car and 6-car available. So the West Midlands Railway version and the Cross Country Railway version. We'll see if we can use all 4 versions this evening. It does mean trundling up and down to Bromsgrove a few times. Yeah, they used to run on this route, not anymore. But yes, they did used to run. Could you go to Lichfield? No. I'll show you the timetables. There's only a few runs for these. But the plan is to use these tonight and then do some more cross-city tomorrow night in the 323, but in this timetable, so you'll see these running and the other stuff running. But it's definitely a slow ascent. The fact that we left a little bit late. Oh, the display's working now. That wasn't working last time I checked it. But yeah, there's no rail driver support anymore. So my use of my throttle quadrant and buttons I have mapped don't work. Yet they did work on Saturday. So there's been an update that's fixed some things and broken others. Hopefully another update to come then. There's already discussions going on, wondering if that means now we're going to get more cross-country trains, as they seem to have the licensing for cross-country. Alright, we are approaching the top. Another one coming the other way. So yeah, we'll do this run into New Street and I'll show you what's available. Hopefully now pick up a little bit of speed. Cross Country voted the worst train company in the UK. Blimey. I was on Southwestern today. It was rather pleasant. Thankfully air conditioning working. Spotted the measurement train that featured in Jeff Marshall's video recently. That was sat in platform 5 at Portsmouth Harbour. Posted a picture on the Instagrams. No, the blue one, the 153. It's a single car 153. They use as a measurement train. Right, finally getting a little bit of speed now. There we go. What I'd like to see already with this is someone to do another timetable mod so there are more stopping services. That's the branch going down there to Redditch. What's that? And that's the 323 going the other way. Oh, that's quite cool. If someone's done a... Oh, I'll have to look out for that then. If someone's done a livery for the single car 153, that'd be quite interesting. I'll have to have a look. I never see about using proper liveries and changing liveries. What's this maximum speed? 100. So we're all good. So yeah, it's just a 2-stop run. So University, Bromsgrove. But for me, it's not necessarily about this unit. It's about adding extra layers in, which if you've got other routes as well, so if you've got Wales installed, you may see the Transport for Wales runs. If you've got West Coast Main Line South installed, then you'll see the 390 coming up from London. So you'll see other services in and out of New Street now, which is what we've wanted for ages. To have a bit of life in New Street. You think EMR use these? I think you might be right, actually. Not that I'm a train weirdo or anything. See, I've always liked the Birmingham Cross City route, and this makes it feel more alive. Meal for one. I like the new, I can't remember what they're called, the ones that are on West Midlands. The one I've got one from Worcester that change gear. They sound quite nice. You just recognise the headlights. So looking at it when it's pulling into the station. So yeah, just coasting along quite nicely now. Right, we got a 45 coming up, so we'll apply a bit of breakage. A 323 going the other way. So yeah, this is out tomorrow as a DLC. Obviously, you will need Birmingham Cross City as well. I don't think it's layered in anywhere else. Because I don't think they obviously went anywhere else. West Midlands delivery wouldn't have gone into any other route. Oh, look at that. Perfect bit of slow-leaing. Hi, Anvar. So make our way round to university. Say this doesn't run on the full cross city route. They just run between New Street and Bromsgrove. .3 miles to go. Say for me, it just adds in those other layers as well, which I'll show you when we get to New Street. Yeah, I was looking at the SWR livery today and realised I quite like it because it's plain and simple. I think that's why I like the GWR livery as well. It's not overly fussy. This has got a fair bit going on. I had a fair bit going on. Alright, we've now got a red. Hopefully. Am I late? No, I'm not due till another 7 minutes. I left late and I'm not due at university for another 7 minutes. How do they expect me to, I know it's struggling up Licky Incline. What is a livery? Doesn't need some of the best designs are simple. Don't overcomplicate things. That's what the Americans do, isn't it? That most of their trains are just aluminium or aluminum, as they call it incorrectly, or correctly from their case. Not much smoke. In fact, it's got a bit of a dirty front. But yeah, they're not exactly rapid. Okay, so we're not stopping at this one. 323 coming the other way. I do like the 323. My hope is, well, the thing is, we probably won't get the angry trains now because they started last year, and this is set in a time when the 170s are around. So that means you can't put the angry trains on this route now because you don't, unless you did it as another timetable. I don't know what else was running in and out of Birmingham. At the same sort of time. So what other companies... Oh, flip. There's a red there. We'll load the last checkpoint. Hopefully that's not a... Bromsgrove. We'll do that again then, shall we? I did say there was a red. That's fine. We'll do it again. So nice, we're doing it twice. You forgot to shout. So it's your fault. You didn't shout. I knew there was a red coming. I was more focused on the distance to the platform than I was on the red. I was making sure I wasn't going to stop at a platform that wasn't the platform I was supposed to stop at. Oh, I'll keep trying to press my panel for the view change. So yeah, so we're in a 5 car? 5 car. It's only smoky from the back. Well, surely there'd be engines in both. It wouldn't just be running the rear engine, would it? Four car? What are we? 1, 2, 4 car. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 car. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do I think there's a 5? There's only a 5 and a 6 in this. I'm confused. Well, yeah, I suppose it could be a worn-out engine that's been modelled. You've got new neighbours, don't want to think I'm mad just yet. Okay, so Licky Incline, take 2. This time, keep an eye out for the red. It's still going to hold us for a while at university. This is almost as bad as it was going up here in the 323. The difference between the 323 and the angry train. I did say 4 car, not fork off. Yeah, don't text a British Transport, please, because they'll charge you for texting them and then ignore you. Hi, Sim, unless you're a ignorant 15-year-old that's texting them, then they'll turn up promptly. Right. We're doing this again for the benefit of the people that weren't here at the beginning. The slow climb up the... I'll keep pressing the... So used to pressing the button on my farm sim panel to change the view. It's like, nope. There is no rail driver support. There was half rail driver support on Saturday. There now is none. So hopefully we'll get another fix. Fix tricks. So yeah, in case you weren't here at the beginning, the 170 is available in 2 liveries, West Midlands Railway and Cross Country, in 2 lengths, which I thought was a 5 and a 6. This is definitely a 4, and runs between Birmingham and Bromsgrove, with stops at University. There are some services that only stop at just, it's a short shuttle to University. When we get into New Street, if we get there this time, if I don't run a red, then I'll show you the timetables. Why are we going so slow? I am flat out. This is all the power it can give. Because that's all it could do up the Licky Incline, was like 37. So yeah, so I haven't touched the throttle since I pulled away from Bromsgrove. A 101 goes faster than this. Maybe not up the Licky Incline though. I did take a few trains up there, didn't I? We had a bit of a thing. Took a pacer up there and stuff. I think we've taken Thomas up the incline as well. Right, it's a yellow coming up now. That's not quite a red, it's a yellow. Two-car and 3-car variants. You'll also drive 4-car trains composed of 2 2-cars. Okay, so why was I thinking 5? I'm confused. Michael's scooter probably goes faster. Yeah, downhill. Alright, so there's the 323. So yeah, as I was saying before I ran the red, I wonder what else was running in and out of Birmingham at the same era as these were running then. So what other layers could we maybe expect? So what's these? 2009, I think these were running. Trains, useful. HSTs. HSTs certainly. Right, we'll back off the power again. So we've got a green coming up. It would have been when New Street was dark and dingy. But it's not in. Well, yeah, it's better now. I remember the old New Street. We used to come in from street level, go down the escalators. Yeah, it did say you may see some 150s coming up from Cardiff. In and out. God, the Palisades. God, I remember going into the Palisades. That walkway bit across the top. There was as I left Portsmouth today, there's a 166 leaving Portsmouth going all the way to Cardiff. Part of me was thinking, I wouldn't mind doing that journey, you know. I quite like a 166. When I was looking at my options for routes, going from Swindon was just ridiculous. I think one of the prices was like 187 quid to go from Swindon to Portsmouth. And I was trying to look at, right, do I go to like Hungerford? But that takes you via Reading. You have done it. One of the routes did take me via Westbury and then on that train via Salisbury. Eventually I just decided to drive to Winchester and got a £16 return from Winchester. Right, there's a yellow down here. And then there's a red. I'm going to end up speeding a bit as I come into this 45 now. Slowlying. Lots of slowlying. Do not pass the red light. Well, I'll try not to this time. If Nigel shouts, we'll be okay. Right, we made it to 45. All the passengers are now at the front of the train. I'm sure, by the way, the guard that was on my train as it left Portsmouth was the YouTuber Jago Hazard. I don't know what he does as a job, but that voice sounded really familiar. I don't watch his YouTube stuff anymore, it annoys me. But I'm sure that was the guard. Right, we've got a yellow. After the yellow, then I think will be a red. So we're speeding up now towards the yellow, because that's what you're supposed to do when it's yellow. Steve, red. There's a red coming up. Yes, I know, Richard. Thank you. So a text message off Richard reminding me there's a red coming up. See, you texting me distracts me, and then I'll run the red. Does anyone say red? There's a red coming up. It's half a mile away. Well, this is the one that went yellow, though, wouldn't it? That got deleted by a mod. Oh yeah, Nightbot didn't like whatever you put there, Nigel. Red is the colour that's red. That was red, but identifies as red for the purposes of being a red. Right, it's gone yellow. You put red 7 times. Nightbot doesn't like more than 4 of anything. Right, says a yellow, then there's a red. You put 5 reds. Really? No, 4 symbols. You can put the words, you can't put symbols. I think. One red for every coach. Yeah, 5. You put the words. I'm confused. Right, there's still a red. The red is just down here. This time we might not run it. I do like the noise the 323 makes. New Street was known as a crucible, i.e. get a red before any other colour. Stop distracting me. Don't put long words, long sentences in. I've got to try and focus on the red. Nigel spanked it. Almost read that as Nigel spanked it then. Right, there's red. Right, we're fine. I've spotted the red. It's just down here. We're okay. We're not going to run it this time. crimson. There we go. I spotted it last time. I did. This is true. Oh, right. It's gone yellow. Eventually, we'll get to New Street. We've got to stop at University first. Alright, is it going to hold us here for 3 minutes? We can go baldy spotting if it does. Braking. Right. Where are I? An odd little seat. Where? There's one. Baldy! Oh, I was sat in one of these seats. And there was like the group of 4 here, and he was sat there with his feet up on that one, and watching some Indian TV show really loudly. Birmingham New Street. But it's not. We're at University. So the 8:30 is on time. And then one going to Lichfield, Trent Valley, and Four Oaks. So we've got some 323s coming behind us. So where did these start? It did tell me. I think it started, I want to say Worcester. So these have been replaced by the ones with gears now. Hello. Good morning. Right, let's sit down. Hereford or Great Moor. I could have been. I wasn't paying attention. It might tell us on the thing. Hereford. Hereford to Birmingham New Street. Yeah, so we pick it up at Bromsgrove. Doing good. Right, so we are there, making our way into New Street, where there are more trains, look, already. So we only used to see, let's go Nottingham to Cardiff Central. So yeah, we only used to see 323s in New Street. But now we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what are you? You're a 2-car. 6 trains currently in New Street. So it's definitely busier. We like that. So that adds in layers. So if you've got Cardiff installed, if you've got West Coast Main Line South installed, and you've obviously got this, then it adds more. It's still not enough. That's why I was saying, what else would be running in and out in this era? Obviously, the problem is it's a licensing thing. It's busier than it was. The busy trunk line will keep you on your toes, responding to yellow and red signals. I know that now. Uh, 390's in. I've got a video coming up on YouTube in the 390. It's just one service. So I'll go through the timetables when we get to... Oh, what's me? When we get to New Street, I'll show you what you get. Right, Birmingham. 2.3 miles in. This was actually an alternate place that I was going to go today. I was looking last night at tickets to Cardiff. Amy Lou went to Cardiff the other day, and I was thinking, I don't know if the new station's open yet, or new platform. So I thought, do I go to Cardiff? Then I was thinking, because of this, do I drive to Stratford and just go into Birmingham? Then I knew I wouldn't get back in time for the stream. So I just stuck with the original plan. You've done Nottingham to Cardiff in full. You have. That was a painfully long run as well, wasn't it? Not as long as our ex-comrade that did Cardiff to Chester, I think it was, on the slow line. How's Portsmouth? I like Portsmouth. Really nice. Quiet. Not surprising on a Monday. And warm. End up carrying my hoodie. You'd rather much do Nottingham to Cardiff on a 170 than Bristol to Portsmouth on a 166. Yep, back to work tomorrow. My next time off now is the Friday before the bank holiday. So I got obviously a short week this week, 2 full weeks, then a short week, then a short week, and then I think 3 full weeks, then a week off. So the most I do between now and Christmas of 5-day weeks is 3 in a row. So taking some long weekends. I'm sure I'm going to go back into about 4,000 emails tomorrow. We should sort out that shadow render distance. So another 170 going back the other way. That's the cross country. That's the one we'll do next. And go back down to Bromsgrove. And maybe see if we can jump on a 323 and see if we can pass some of these then. So we just stay within the same timetable. Oh, look at some of the other ones. There's a 350 you can drive. 390. Right, double yellows. That's not good, Richard. Blame me, that's fine. Zed leased the animal trailer. Oh, 20. Slowly in, slowly in, slowly in, slowly in into what will hopefully be a busier New Street. I say, the only trains you saw before were just the 323s, and not very many of them. No, Nico, because we need to move the cows. Sorry, farm sim server talk. We've got a cow issue because some pillock placed the wrong cow barn down. Our cows aren't able to put their milk anywhere, so we now need to move the cows. Yay! I see trains. Many trains. Well, 2, 3. So we've got 350 there, 390 there, and a 170 down there, and a 323 in over there. So yeah, definitely busier. And in we come, about 30 seconds early. Yeah, so got another 170 going back out there. So yeah, going back to Hereford, I'm guessing. You're going to end? Hello? Someone did mention in the Dovetail server that there is a bug. We'll give it a minute. I wonder if I can do it that way. Hello. Well, that doesn't seem to want to end, so we'll go back and do that. Right, so I'll now show you what you get as far as timetabled routes. So there will be, I'm guessing, another fix tomorrow, a release day update. So there could be a few bugs. There's also another, we got the DB BR101 expert gameplay pack coming out in 3 days time as well, so another release. They can't plan their releases, can they? Right, so the class 170 timetable. So we got 170 routes, so you got a choice of 5 and 6. So is that their number? So that does that not correlate to the number of cars? Because the one we were just in, I'm sure, was a 4 car. But that says 5. That's why I was getting confused with a 5 and 6. That's a subclass number. Okay. So looking at the 170 then. So you've got Bromsgrove to New Street. Bromsgrove to New Street. New Street to Bromsgrove. So basically those. Or New Street to Aston. Or then short services going from, well, New Street to Aston. I'm guessing then there's some going back from Aston, to New Street. So that's what you get as services. So just a run to Bromsgrove or a run from Aston as drivable services for that. I'm sure it's going to be exactly the same for the other variation. Yeah, so just Bromsgrove to New Street. Not very many of them either. And then in the cross country is the same thing, although it comes from somewhere else. But yeah, Bromsgrove to New Street. And none of the Aston services this time though. So New Street to Bromsgrove, Bromsgrove to New Street. So none of the shorter services for that one. And the same for that one. So it's only the West Midlands one then that stops at Aston. All the other ones are just runs from Bromsgrove to New Street. So we'll do another run back in a second. You also get the 350 from West Coast Mainline South if you've got West Coast Mainline South installed. And these are just services running from Aston to New Street. And New Street to Aston accordingly. So just running backwards and forwards between those two. You get the 390, which is one service, which I've done already, which is an empty stock move from Aston to New Street. But you will see them as AI. Oh, I know it's a high-speed train. Bromsgrove to Kings Norton. Oh, maybe we'll do one of those then. $2.25 in the morning. We could do that one then. So empty stock move, Bromsgrove to Kings Norton. You've got 66, a steel train from Kings Norton to Bromsgrove. 37 from Tees Valley if you've got it installed. Diesel rail tour from Lichfield to Bromsgrove. So the whole length of the... Why would we put a rail tour at 25 to 5 in the morning? That's devotion to going on a rail tour, isn't it? We're going on a rail tour. Yep. That one's going from Penzance to Derby. That's why it's coming through here at that time of the morning. Blimey. 25 to 11 at night. An hour and 20 minutes to get from Bromsgrove to Lichfield, Trent Valley. That'd be quite an interesting one to do, actually. And then this other 66, us going to Swindon. Boston Sidings to Swindon Stores. That's going from Kings Norton to Bromsgrove, so you can take a 66. What's part one? Part one is depot, then that, and then New Street to Lichfield City Siding. Oh, so that's some interesting stuff. Right, what we'll do is we'll do the return, and then you've got the normal 323 stuff, which is the same as it was. So 4-line runs, Redditch to Lichfield, Trent Valley, hour and 25 minutes. But that's what my plan was going to be for tomorrow, so that we see the other stuff running. So tomorrow night I'll do some 323 stuff. Tonight we'll focus on the 170. We'll do a 350. We'll do the high-speed train. Maybe see if I can do the 390 on the stream. I've already recorded that for YouTube. Right, so we'll go from New Street to Bromsgrove. We'll do this one then, the 1028, and make our way back to Bromsgrove, go back down the hill. So it does add a lot of layers. So you'll see a lot of AI stuff running around. So allegedly some 150s as well coming in and out of New Street, coming up from Cardiff. Not that are drivable, but... Okay, unlock doors. Got this the old way. Key in, reverser, forward, headlights, day. Open the window. Open the window. We'll unlock the doors. And what we'll do is, while we're waiting for passengers, so we got another 170 there. We've got this over here that's going somewhere, or might have just terminated here. No, it's terminated here. So 390. There's nothing else in. I don't think is there any other tracks hidden around here, or was that the end? Oh no, we've got some more stuff around here. Got 350 sat there. We got. What are you? Why are you creating smoke? Is it that that's... I thought those were electric. Why are you smoking? Or is there something the other side of that? Hang on. Oh, it's a 170. There's a 170 the other... But why is it smoking? There's a 170 the other side. So yeah, definitely busier now at New Street. Busier than it used to be. More stuff coming in and going out. Oh god, which one was I? Okay. Am I this? This one. This one with the door open. That'd be the clue, wouldn't it? Right. What it needs are 222s. So I mean, it's getting busier. Yes, this is going back to Cardiff. Right, so back to university then. Right, see if we can not run a red this time. So yeah, tomorrow, more of this. We'll do some 323 runs tomorrow night. So we'll pass through Birmingham with some of this other stuff about. Wednesday night, The Sims 4, where we've moved house and we're going to adopt a baby. So that's going to be interesting on Wednesday. Thursday night, some ETS 2, so trucking and tunes. Friday night, some Wreckfest. May or may not be here on Saturday. Depending on the time I get back. I may be extending my day out. But we're definitely back on Sunday lunchtime for some farming. Yeah, it's not quite London Victoria busy, is it? But it's busier. I'm wondering how long before someone else gets hold of the timetable. There was an article about the person that actually put this stuff in the timetable and how difficult it is to do. I don't think there's anything else that you'd see coming into here. Obviously, you've got the 350s that are coming up West Coast Main Line. You've got the Pendolinos that are coming up West Coast Main Line. You've got this stuff. You've got the odd HST. I suppose there would be other things. But it is all down to licensing. Go. What I'd almost like to see, and I don't know if they ever did, is this replacing the 323. I'm sure someone will do that as a mod, so you can do 4-line runs in this instead of the 323. You know, 323 is broken down, we've had to swap it out with a 170. They probably wouldn't, they wouldn't have done it in reality because it's an electrified line. It's definitely not the most rapid of things. Right, a 50 limit. So what length are we now? We are a 4 car again. So the other version, the 6 is a 5 car, the 5 is a 4 car. I'm guessing it never actually ran these as 2 cars. Always seems a shame to me when you see like 150s and stuff like coupled together to make a longer train. Or like today I was on the train, I don't know when it was, an electric thing, where it's a 12 car, and you think if that's how they're permanently coupled, the middle like driving cab never gets used. It's almost a shame because it was built and paid for as 2 separate trains, and it's just chucked on the back of another one. Or would they just run these as 2 cars on like early morning services and late night services? Right, we will shortly be arriving at university. Yes, we'll do this run down, then we'll do that run in the 350, then we'll do the Pendolino, then the HST. Ooh, brake. Braking happened. Door is opening. I've been here. I came to this station fairly recently. I don't know why. Anyway, I think on the last time I went to Birmingham, I ended up at university. Oh, I just go where I was told. Right, 30 seconds to go. We'll make the run back down to Bromsgrove. Yeah, but I hung around. I think it's one of those ticking off a train station things with that ex-comrade. Yeah. Right, lock doors. Right, Bromsgrove then, 10 miles. It's a long delay between engaging power and power actually happening. We did a baldy count earlier. When we got to Birmingham. Right. Long past Tuck Canal. You missed it. Did you get permission for leaving? If you're going for a wee or something, you should have said. I would have paused the game. It was resting your eyes. Again, cross-country livery. A little bit plain, also a little bit busy. I'm not sure if that's the same cross-country livery as now. Uh-oh, there's a yellow coming up. Oh, I'm guessing the new livery is not great then. Do you think they'd put a couple of like canal boats on the canal? Even if they were static, like moored up along the side? 'Cause I think there are quite a few moored up, more when you get into centre Birmingham. Train, another train coming towards us. Hello, train. Well, I suppose it's an expense thing, isn't it? Why spend a lot of money replacing a train that might only have another couple of years' life left in it? As long as passengers know what train company it is. Although it's one of those things, isn't it? Do you care? You know, if the announcement says the next train to arrive at platform whatever you're on is the train going to where you're going, that train comes in, you get on it. It doesn't matter what the livery is really or what company it is. You just get on it. You wait until nationalisation. Well, yeah. It's getting there. Another, I don't know how many they got left to go. Another company joined the ranks, didn't they? I think SWR was the first one. Right, go. Towards the yellow. It still amazes me. Okay, this thing is capable of 100 miles an hour, so yeah, it'll do line speed and stuff. But the fact that you've got these almost commuter trains doing these long distances, like the 166 today going from Portsmouth to Cardiff. It's like, blimey. Yeah, the thing I was on that was going to London almost looked like too much overkill. It was like a 12-car train, and the carriage I was in, I think, had 4 people on the way back anyway. I have been down there when you've only been able to stand. Right, so taking a run all the way back out to Bromsgrove. Flat out. 90 limit. We can do 63. That takes a long time to change up. Oh, hang on, we're about to overtake a train by the looks of things. Yeah, slow moving 323. Maybe change there once. Let's go down to Redditch. What's cross country about this? The train goes to Cardiff and it's run by cross country. We can't take it to Cardiff, we can take it as far as Bromsgrove. Oh, finally getting a bit of speed up. I can't remember, Nico. I was just dragged on off trains. It goes across the country and not the ocean. Well, yeah, there is that. Oh, 323 going the other way. See, that's where it feels busier. You're getting more stuff on the rails. Alright, it's got 75 coming up then, and then we go down the hill. Does it carry on with you on board if you don't get out of Bromsgrove? I'm guessing it'll despawn me. Are you saying we should stay on as a passenger and see how far it goes? You tried that? Oh. I think the Wheels and Junction one is only because he was building the next bit, which is going to be released anyway, isn't it? Alright, we're about to head down. Engine sound quiet. That's because I'm idling. I'm not on the power because we're going downhill. Very downhill now. So much so you've got to go on the brakes. Oh, okay. Maybe you won't do that then, Rich T. What we could do is see what else is leaving Bromsgrove. We'll see if there is a 323 coming back up, so we can do a stopping service back to thingy. Or well, we might not get time for that. No, we'll do the other services. We'll do the 350. We'll do the 390, and then the HST. This can't be great for the brakes, can it? On the brakes all the way down the hill. There's a red. I think it's after the station. We're okay. I seem to be quicker coming back than it was going up, mainly because of the hill. I think it took us so long to climb the hill on the way in. Oh, not emergency. Oh, this could be a run the red situation. That was a lot of braking. Where's the 323 over there? Right, hang on. Oh, out the bloody way. Right, let's relinquish that service. Continue, free roam. Right, when's this 323 going? Doors are open. Uh, 10:51. Do we drive it? It's gonna take too long. Oh, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll drive some of the other ones. 323s tomorrow on the same timetable. Right, so that was the 170 to and from Birmingham. Now, as I said, if you've got other routes already installed, it will add layers in, and we'll do a couple of the runs from those layers now. So we'll do the 350, which is only a short run from New Street to Aston. Well, we'll go from Aston to New Street, then we go back into New Street, and then see if we can see that being a bit busier. It is a shame that the 390 is not drivable out of New Street. There's only one service a day. Right, a bit of volume for that. I've got to do things key. So unlock doors on the left. That's a tree. Oh, hello. Yeah, so 350 now. Back in. Let's see if we can see anything else waiting. Am I going the right way? No, that's the wrong way. Someone's nicked New Street. There it is. So, Leicester, New Street. So that's stuff from Leicester. That's going to Warsaw. That's going to Nottingham. One over here. Oh, I can't click on it. So yeah, there are definitely more trains in at New Street. Maybe not as busy as it should be, but busier. So you're not just seeing 323s, and there is a there is a 323. Oh, my throttle works now in this train. But the side panel doesn't. Okay. Right, lock doors. Right, Duddeston. Yeah, if you're just joining, you're confused as to why this isn't a 170. You get to drive this within the layering that you get with the 170 DLC. So if you've got West Coast Mainline South installed, this is part of a layer then, so it becomes a drivable service. From University back into New Street. I never used to like electric stuff. Quite like some of it now. So the thing I was on today, I don't know what it was. You can't deny it, they're just so quiet. Yeah, one of them. Oh shit, I'm supposed to stop there. We're not stopping at Duddeston. It's not happening. We'll stop at New Street. I know. So that this comes in past where the new thingy station's being built for HS2. I think I said this in one of the videos that's coming out. Even though in London it's expected that you have to travel to various like terminuses to be able to travel to different places, it actually annoys me in Birmingham when the train you want doesn't go from New Street and you've got to go to Snow Hill or the other one. It's like, really? And now you're going to get another station chucked in there as well. Moore Street, that's the one. I just find it a real like pain. I suppose the advantage with London is to get between those stations you can do it, apart from one, you can do it on underground. So it's not too much of a challenge. I know it's only a 5-minute walk, but it annoys me. Thing is, when I spent a lot of my youth in Birmingham, we never got the train. Because it was like a 20-minute walk to the train station. By the time you've done that, you'd be halfway there on the bus. So we never went on the train. Wouldn't dream of it just to go into town, or even to cross the other side of town. I wouldn't dream of going on the train. It'd just jump on the bus or buses. Come to a slightly busier New Street. Used to catch the 147. It was the 4, 5 or 6 for me, or the 11. Was 11 the the circular one? You used to be able to walk and get the 11 if I was going over to Northfield from Hall Green or from Redditch. It's been a long time since I went on a bus in Birmingham. We were discussing doing another meet-up to go and do the little train, the Parry People Mover, maybe next year. Right, back to New Street. We did go on a bus in Birmingham. Oh yes, we did. When we stayed in the hotel, we got the bus to somewhere in the morning. Right, so that was definitely we didn't miss Dudderston. So yeah, that's playable then as a 350. Just a quick run between Birmingham, New Street and Aston. We'll do the 390. It's an empty stock move back into New Street. I have recorded a video on it already, but we'll do that, and then we'll do the HST, and then maybe finish up back in the 170 to do another one of the quick trips. So yeah, just one playable service. So Aston to New Street, so the same one we've just done, but in a different train. Thing is, Connor, I spent the last 2.5 years going places, and a lot of it was just get on this train, get off that train, go here, go there, and I just spent all that time basically doing as I was told, and a lot of the time not knowing where I was or not caring where I was going. Right, that's that. Right, let's go then. So yeah, just empty stock move with the 390. Definitely got the lights. Do 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 do. There you go, it's fine. Thing is, these wouldn't stop anywhere, would they? Where's this come? Where would this go backwards and forwards to? Oh, I've put the bloody reverser into... Now I've got no... Well, what's going on here? Can we have some power now? There we go. It goes to Edinburgh. So yeah, so there'd be nowhere within what was trying to get at before I confused myself. There'd be nowhere on this map then that this would actually stop. So its first stop would be out of map. Which is also the case, well no, sort of the case with the 170. But they made that stop at Bromsgrove, although in reality it didn't. Why can't I haven't got any control. Why you keep putting the reverser into neutral? What is going on here? Right, can you let me have some power now? I think it might have been because I was using the keyboard and it's actually using my throttle. So it might have been me. So this is one of those instances I can't talk, where I'd like more connecting into Birmingham. Whether that's the idea, Logitech flight throttles that you can map using RailDriver or using software to use with this. Well, yeah, that's why I like the fact that we're getting these layering services that gives you more stuff from existing stations. So by giving you a train, it gives you more. I basically want more of that. I don't know what we're going to get in Train Sim World 6, because that's due out in what, 6 weeks time now, 7 weeks time. I'm not going to the Dovetail offices, so I won't find out. Well, I'll find out 2 days after a few other people as to what's coming. My hope is that we'll get a connecting route. I'd like to see Milton Keynes to Birmingham personally, or Reading to Bristol. This Milton Keynes to Birmingham, and this is me speculating, I don't know anything. Now we've got these services in Birmingham, would Milton Keynes to Birmingham now make more sense? Because then you've got more services coming in out of Birmingham. You've already got Birmingham, you've already got Milton Keynes. Surely that's an easy route for them to do. You've already got the hubs at either end. It's just a bit in the middle then, which I know isn't a 5-minute job. But is that why we've got the 170 now ready? I'd love to see that. And again, I don't know what features we're going to get in Train Sim World 6. People in the Ambassador chat have been saying, multiplayer? Even the ability to have a guard would be really cool. But my personal one would be to be able to go, right, you've got London to Milton Keynes, you've got Milton Keynes to Birmingham. In that case, you can now do these timetable services that go all the way from London to Birmingham. So there we go, you're on PC, you can now do this magic 2-hour run. Did the 170 go to Milton Keynes? I don't know where the 170 went. This was going... Where did the cross country go? Well, no, the 350 you've got in this was Milton Keynes. These come from Milton Keynes as well into Birmingham. So yeah, this is going to Euston. We have a problem. Yeah, for me then, ability like you can do in Train Sim Classic to go, right, you can link those two routes together then because you're on PC. Can't do it on Xbox or what, PlayStation. But there you go. The two routes will load in as one, and you can now do a full run service. Well, no, MP even to start with as guard. For services that have got a guard mode, have it in multiplayer. You can have one person with you as a guard, so they've got to open and close the doors, and they can be checking tickets and stuff while you're driving the train. I think that would be quite amusing from my point of view, from a gaming or streaming point of view, would be quite amusing. You know, each week have a separate person on with me that's got it to do some runs as, you know, they do a trip as guard, then I do a trip as guard while they drive. There we go. So that was that empty stock move in. How's the new train? Good. We're going to go back to it shortly. I'm just doing some of the other things you can drive within the layers. We've done 2 runs in the 170. We will do another one. So we've done the 170 up and down. We've done the 350. We've done the 390 empty stock move. There are passenger runs in this. Maybe there's something to look at in the future, but we'll do this. So again, empty stock move from Bromsgrove to Kings Norton this time. So we'll take this. So that's going to take a HST up the Licky Incline then. That's going to be somewhat interesting, he says. But yeah, I'm looking forward to 6. Said not going to the offices. I haven't told them that yet. Remember everything is. Master key locked. Reverser is forward. Yeah, co-op mode would make sense. I forgot where everything is on these. Are you lights? See, well, that's a lot of smoke. Hang on. What in the... Okay. Hang on. We need to get out and look at this. What in the bejesus is going on here? So we've got power car. Power car. Power car. Slam door. Slam door. Old baggage car. And a 47 on the back. HST wouldn't need that to get up the incline, surely. Oh, sorry. Imagine the noise. Stop as indicated. Okay, we got to have some noise from outside then with this one, haven't we? That's definitely a thing. That's... Okay, we're speeding a bit. That's just ticking over. So that's not doing anything at the back. That's definitely a thing. So yeah, that is flat out. But they're not exactly slow, HSTs. They must have tons of torque. We're going quicker up than the 170 did up here. Oh yeah, if the 47 came off the back, we'd probably go quicker, because we're basically just pulling that bloody heavy lump up there as well. Do I have the engine radio link on? I don't know, I just got in it. Oh, that sounds good. Right, we will go back into 170 again once we've done this one. Don't be surprised if this ends up as a YouTube video on its own. It wouldn't have needed this much. Well, I don't want to decouple the trains. Alright, we're at the top now anyway. Are they using these power cars as like single power cars pulling freight? Did I see that somewhere? That must just be odd. I don't think there's many left, is there, now, of HSTs? A lot of them have been exported. I know they're still running down in Cornwall. I think there's a few still running up in Scotland. But what else have GWR got that they can use instead of these? Not a lot, really. So I don't think that line down to Penzance is ever going to be electrocuted. Alright, so 4.4 miles to our stop in this. Oh god, yeah, the amount of collisions there are in the States with vehicles. Obviously a version of the HST ended up in Australia, didn't it? I'm looking forward. Well, I think the original one's still there at York. Looking forward to that. Having a proper look around York, because we rushed it last time. And looking forward to going to Locomotion as well. Although we've only got a shorter amount of time. We got like an hour and a half at Locomotion. York pub crawl. Got to get back for evening meal with Ed. So you've got to be back on probably the 5 o'clock train. See, how can you say that's not a good livery? It's definitely a weird formation. So we are just idling now. And yeah, we will do another 170 run. We'll do this again. We'll do the longer version of the cross country. We'll go from Bromsgrove back up Licky Incline and finish off in New Street. And then tomorrow night we'll do some more cross city in the same timetable, but in the 323s. So we'll do a couple of 4-line runs in the 323s. So we'll see this other stuff running around. So we'll do the Bromsgrove, we'll do the Redditch. And yeah, Wednesday back with some more of the Sims 4. We've moved house. And we're going to adopt a baby. That's going to go well. Thursday night is some ETS2 trucking and tunes. Friday night, some Wreckfest. Probably won't be here Saturday. And then back on Sunday lunchtime for some more farming. Why are gaming keyboards and mouse so expensive? Because they're designed to take a battering. What am I using? I'm using a Logitech G502, I think it is, mouse. Wired. Had it a number of years. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
A Roccat Ixu. I think IKSU keyboard. Cat Bar, thanks for the follow. Thing is, wireless, if you're going for a wireless setup, wireless is good. The only thing I would say with wireless, at some point it will catch you out because the batteries will run out. So yeah, a wireless mouse isn't the end of the world. And a wireless keyboard, certainly. There's loads. Amazon. Type in gaming keyboard on Amazon. Go on YouTube. You'll see people doing reviews of gaming keyboards. You need wireless. You don't need wireless. You want wireless. No, you obviously can't spell the word wireless. Well, I get that. I have got a wireless keyboard and mouse for the one downstairs, but up here I use wired. I've actually got a USB hub under the sofa downstairs as well, which is run along the back of the sofa into the PC downstairs, so I can plug wired stuff in as well. But yeah, I do get the benefits of wireless. There are loads of wireless keyboards out there, and mice certainly. I don't know. It's downstairs. It's not a gaming one, it's just a keyboard. It's really good actually because it's got solar recharging as well. So I just leave it out, propped up down the side of the computer. Well, yeah, that's why I've gone wide up here. You know, wide keyboard up here makes total sense because the wire just disappears down the back of the desk. Why am I only going 11 miles an hour? Yeah, my only issue with wireless headphones, like that's the only thing that bugs me, is I got a wire going across me. Is because my headphones plug straight into the mixing desk and not via like USB. I'd have to find a headphone that can take a 3.5mm input and then put that out wirelessly with no latency, because I listen to myself live, and I don't think that is ever going to be a thing. I don't know why we're now creeping along at 11 miles an hour. I'm almost flat out. Something's broken. Yeah, I can't have USB. That's why when we had someone here as a guest, they couldn't use a USB headset because I can't put that into the mix. It had to be a headset with the mic on the arm, which our ex-colleague couldn't understand, that you had to auto-regulate your own volume by moving away and forward to the mic. It's down to personal preference, Connor. If you need wireless, get wireless. There are loads of wireless ones. The wireless mouse I've got downstairs is a real cheap one, but it works perfectly fine. Don't go spending like 200 quid on a keyboard though, just because it's a known brand. Really, you're gonna, okay. Okay. I'm flat out. It must be something. I just got to coast towards where it'll let me stop now. Two yards. Really? You won't let me? It's 2 yards. Come on. There you go. It might have been brakes on the other unit or something, but it was fine. I've never had a problem with the HST. I have problems with most trains, but not the HST. Right, we do one more run then in the 170. We'll go for the cross-country long version. We'll go back to Bromsgrove and take it up the incline again and back into Birmingham so we can see that again. And say tomorrow night we'll do some 323 runs in the same timetable. So the cross city, let's pick something. No, that one. Let's go that one then. No, that one. Bromsgrove to New Street. There we go. Why is that a minute longer? Look at that one. Drive it. Drive it we shall. Reverse it forward. Got to use this the old-fashioned way now. Lights are up here. Day. We'll have some windows. Some windows over there. So yes, we're now we're a 3 car. What? So the 5 is a 4 car, the 6 is a 3 car. What sort of logic is that? What? I'm guessing there probably is some logic somewhere, but I don't get it. British Railway logic, yeah, probably. Yeah, so stop at University and stop at New Street. As people mix the numbers. Well, no, apparently that's why I was saying we should be a 5 car, because it's a 5, but it's not. So the 5 is a 4, the 6 is the 3. Or someone's stolen a bit. Yeah, it could be that. Right, well, in theory, this shouldn't be slower up the Licky incline than a HST, but that HST was struggling. Although we're now only 1 unit. Right, lock doors. I do think we need to organise a day out back in Birmingham. Oh, that's the throttles. Don't do that. Slightly rolled backwards there. Right. That's flat out now. Making more noise. So we've got a 90 speed limit. I don't think we're going to do 90 somehow. No, 37. You can see why for heavy goods trains there were engines there that would help push them up the hill. Can you imagine that, you know, coming to a stop at the bottom and having to climb? Imagine in the steam era, trying to get steam trains up here. I think I did it once. Did we bring the Flying Scotsman up here or something on one of the streams? Right, this time may or may not get caught at a red light. That's definitely a long hill. It must have been difficult to timetable these, because you had to make allowances for the fact that, although in reality they weren't stopping at Bromsgrove, so they would have been faster at the bottom, which means they they'd have carried a bit more speed up the hill, wouldn't they? So they weren't pulling off from a standing start. I can't see them doing 80 up here, but they'd probably manage 50 or 60. It depends on what speed they came in at. Right, the top is in sight. Well, no, Dovetail have said they never used to stop there, the 170s. It would have just been a university. So the only playable services in this would have been Birmingham to university. So they've added in Bromsgrove. I think it's worth it. For if you like Cross City like I do, it's worth it because of the layering it adds in. So then you'll see these things running around. You'll see the HST. You'll see the 390s running around. You'll see the 350s. There'll be more going on. Hopefully we get more of this. Hopefully they'll bring out more trains that add in more services to existing routes. I'd like to see that. Fairly decent bit of speed now. It's obviously not geared for that hill. Right, we've still got greens. Now we're getting a move on. New train for the Great Western Remaster. I don't know what they're going to add in with that. Because it's still going to be... I reckon we're going to get the 800. Because it was around the electrification era. And I can't remember what else it is that runs... What's the things that I've got early in the morning into London? You know, we may now see Elizabeth Line services running, but then you couldn't have the HSTs. Difficult one, isn't it? What era did you set it in? Legs? Did I say legs? I'll get a Lumo. I'm interested to see what routes we are going to get. You know, traditionally it's been a UK route, a German route and an American route. The German route was okay, Frankfurt-Fulda for Train Sim World 5. The UK route was West Coast Main Line South, which was amazing. And the American route was Antelope Valley, which was dire. My hope is that either we'll get a connection. You know, we've got West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle. We've got West Coast Main Line South. You know, it almost makes sense, doesn't it, to finish it? If that's the line they've given us 2 bits of, well, give us Milton Keynes to Birmingham, and then give us Birmingham to, I'm guessing it would be Crewe, and then would be Crewe to Carlisle. So you've got 3 more sections. Right, we've got a 45 limit coming up. But, you know, adding this in and adding the West Coast Main Line stuff, to me, points towards Milton Keynes to Birmingham, which everyone was hoping for earlier in the year, including the Northampton loop. And then, yeah, you know, the ability then on PC to be able to go, oh, look, you've got both routes. You know what? We can stitch those together for you. And then there's some timetable runs here to be able to do Euston to Birmingham. You know, a 2 and a bit hour run in this? Yes, please. I'll have that. Thanks very much. And then, you know, being able to see the cross-country, the cross-city stuff running when you get to Birmingham. What about the other way up to Preston? What? So what would be the next bit then? I suppose Birmingham to Crewe. And then it would be Crewe to Preston? Because that would be 2 more. What's the time scale to get from Birmingham to Preston by train? It's more than an hour, isn't it? What's Birmingham to Crewe? Because don't forget, they're generally about an hour long chunks, aren't they? You know, I'd love to see the bit I did today down into Portsmouth. But then where do you start? Because you get the bit from Gatwick down there, so that almost links in with Southeastern High Speed. It comes up to Salisbury, it goes up to Winchester. There's so many good routes. Crewe to Preston via Warrington Bank. Yeah, but how long is the journey? What's the journey time from Birmingham to Crewe? And then what would the journey time be from Crewe to Preston? That's what you got to think of. We got Preston to Carlisle. I think about an hour from Birmingham to Crewe. So that would work. Then you've got another isolated bit, haven't you? That's the... You'd have Birmingham to Crewe, and then you wouldn't have Crewe to Preston. You could then do Preston to Carlisle. So you'd be able to do London to Milton Keynes, skip a bit. Birmingham to Crewe, skip a bit. Preston to Carlisle. I think a lot of people want more connections in this. The longer route thing, people have got used to. You know, an hour is enough, generally, for a lot of the routes. 42 minutes, Crewe to Preston. So that could work then. It's quite short. It's almost one of those things of looking at a UK rail map and going, right, where would we like to see? It must be tough working for Dovetail, because there must be, you know, such a list of routes that they all go, oh god, that'd be amazing. And you know, it's not, you can have the idea, but then it's actually modelling it. You know, it's not a 10-minute job modelling these routes. But in my opinion, which is why having something that links to existing bits makes sense. You know, we've got Milton Keynes, we've got Birmingham. Link the two. So we've only got about another 6-7 weeks before we get Train Sim World 6, so not long to wait to find out. Birmingham crew is about an hour, so yeah, that works then, doesn't it? Exactly, it's on the same line. They've got the rolling stock, they've got the licensing. So maybe not as the feature route, maybe as another one down the line. Yeah, this is going to Nottingham. Going to see Trent. Right, so the final little run then into New Street. Why? Why not? Right, lock doors. Right. Yes, you've got 6 minutes now to do 2.4 miles. Definitely feels busier. It just seems to make more noise and doesn't really do as much. Train Sim 6 is on the way, releasing in September. We'll know more in about a month's time. Well, the 166 is a bit like that, isn't it? 166 makes a lot of noise and doesn't really seem to do much. Okay, that was cheering coming from the football ground. Can't say I've heard that before. Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely have a look for that livery for the 153 that someone mentioned earlier, because I saw that today at Portsmouth Harbour. The little 153 single car measurement train. Jeff Marshall did a video on it a couple of weeks ago. It was just sat there on the platform, so I did post a picky on the on the Instagrams. I don't know what you could do with it. Sort of passenger service as a... You wouldn't really want a passenger service. I suppose you could just do a 4-line run in it, as though you were taking measurements. It'd be quite interesting on some of the routes. 4-line run on, like, going down to Bristol, going down to Brighton in a 153 from Victoria. Trying to sneak it in amongst other traffic. We got the expert, the DBBR 101 expert gameplay pack coming up. Yeah, I don't think I'll be covering that somehow, because me and expert, because that'd just be a stream of me getting frustrated with not being able to drive a train, which is pretty much like most trains. That releases 3 days time, so they're not very good at their timings, are they? Nothing for a few weeks, and then 2 releases in 3 days. Right, and we come into a busier New Street quite fast. I wonder what happened if Selfridges ever moved out of that building. Not a lot else you could do with that. Exactly, I'm no good on easy mode. I get confused. No, the big strange looking building. The odd shaped one. By the boring. I can't see it now because I'm on the ground. I think. Oh, I can't do that. I haven't got a button. Oh, it's a pain. All my buttons I normally have mapped, and it's not. They're not supportive on this train yet. There we go. Done. Yeah, like that. I'm not saying it's frustrating that it only goes Bromsgrove to Birmingham. I think you'd get a bit bored of just doing that. But I like it for the fact that it adds in those layers of other things that it brings to the route. You know, the fact that you've got the drivable services, albeit short, for the 350, the 390 and the HST, and these ones as well. And even if you're not driving them, you'll see them running around as AI. That's the bit that it is the appealing bit, that you get more AI traffic. That's what I quite like. So yeah, definitely one to grab if you like Birmingham Cross City. It is rather good. Tomorrow night, back with more Birmingham Cross City. This time I'm going to concentrate on the 323. So I'm going to use the same timetable, but we do a couple of 4-line runs in 323s. So we'll see the 170s trundling about. So to add in that bit of realism from the 323's point of view. Wednesday night, got some Sims 4 where we've moved house and we're going to adopt a baby. That's going to go well. Thursday night, some ETS2 trucking and tunes. Friday night is Wreckfest. Saturday probably won't be here. And then Sunday lunchtime back on the farm doing more farming. And then more things back next week. You never know, I might even tackle that BR101 live on the stream next Tuesday. How bad can it go? So there we go. So thanks to you lot in chat for keeping me company for the last 2 and a bit hours. More trains, I say, back tomorrow night. And to Cat Bar for following earlier. Thank you very much indeed. There we go. No one in voice to thank for the next couple of streams. Seems weird. After spending multiple streams in voice for people, then to have no one in voice. Like, oh, there's no one to thank. Then it's just me. So there we go. So thanks to you lot then for keeping me company. I'll be back tomorrow night to do some more trains in Birmingham. Until then, if you have been, thanks very much for watching.